There are few smiles in world politics more earnest than Mark Rutte's. The former Dutch Prime Minister has been well known for his affable public persona, something that served him well for the last 14 years in the Netherlands. His next role may require a different approach. On Tuesday, Rutte takes over as Secretary-General of Nato, which has been led by Norway's Jens Stoltenberg for the last 10 years. NATO might be the most successful military alliance in history, but it's facing challenges possibly more fundamental than at any other time in the last 75 years. Chief among them is Russia. It's been nearly 1,000 days since the start of the war in Ukraine, when Russia invaded. Moscow's pretext was to protect ethnic Russians in the east of the country, but publicly it's repeatedly asserted its concerns about NATO's expansion eastwards to include a number of Russian neighbour countries.
NATO expanded its borders, sought to expand its borders, engulfing states, taking over its territories with its military equipment and infrastructure. And Ukraine was next in line. And this generated direct threats to the security of the Russian Federation.
Rutte's personal relationships across Europe will be called upon quickly. Eastern European NATO members have called for more reinforcements to protect against the Kremlin's perceived intentions. The alliance has almost doubled its forces there since the start of the war. Ukraine itself, meanwhile, may not yet be a member of NATO, but it is President Volodymyr Zelensky who continues to ask for as much military aid as he can get. Rutte's less friendly relationships could be even more significant, in particular his long-time criticism of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Speak out against Putin and Russia's violation of the UN Charter. Support the peace plan. Support Ukraine, even if it takes time, even if there are setbacks.
Galvanising support inside NATO may prove just as tricky, in particular if Donald Trump wins November's presidential election. Previously, the incoming Secretary-General has acknowledged that Washington's alliance partners need to spend more on defence, something Trump called for during his first term in office. In a warning as part of his outgoing speech as Secretary-General, Jens Stoltenberg warned about the crucial nature of the transatlantic alliance, something he said shouldn't be taken for granted.
NATO is not written in stone. It is a result of deliberate choices and political will. We have heard voices on both sides of the Atlantic calling for America and Europe to part ways. Focusing on short-sighted national interests over longer-term cooperation will not serve us well.
Rutte is known for his ability to build consensus and coalitions among working partners, but his outspoken criticism of some, like Hungary, could yet prove tricky. Ultimately, successfully leading NATO through the issues it's facing will require more than a little Dutch persuasion and a smile. John Flynn, TRT1.